Derbyshire and East Staffordshire. Ian Sky on BBC Radio Derby.
11:15 if you're counting. Now, a Derbyshire schoolgirl has beaten 99 others to win an essay contest about faith. Among one of the prizes, Poppy Brown from Long Eaton 1 was the chance to meet the Deputy Prime Minister, Nick Clegg, which she did on Tuesday of this week, and Poppy is here now, along with the head of RE at Derby High School, Noreen Driver, as well. Welcome both.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you. So, Tuesday this week, you were at the House of Commons. Now you're here. You getting any schoolwork done this week?
Yeah, a bit. I've got a free now, so not missing anything.
It'd be better if this worked out at booking you in for double maths, wouldn't it? Really? So congratulations. We should start at the beginning. You're 16 years old, so what are you, year 11 at school?
Year 12.
Year 12. And when did this competition come up? This is the Women of the Future Ambassadors Programme.
Yeah, I got an email from Mrs. Driver a few weeks ago, just with the essay titles and a kind of have a go if you like kind of message. And I wrote the essay and sent it off, but never really expected to hear anything back.
What is the competition?
It's part of the Tony Blair Face to Faith Foundation programme, which I introduced in school just over a year ago. And we've been taking part in video conferences in RE lessons for the last year. And the essay is related to that.
What is Face to Faith all about?
Face to Faith is an organisation founded by Tony Blair, encouraging schools around the world to communicate, have video conferences, hold
so
dialogue
when you say
with
video
each other.
conferences, these are what, international?
Yeah, about issues of faith.
Yeah.
Young people talking about faith with other young people across the globe.
It's unfair to ask you this with Mrs. Driver here, but is RE a good subject at Derby High School?
Yeah, I take it for an AS level, actually. It's actually one of my favourites. So.
And so the way the competition works was you were asked to write an essay, of a specific length, and you had to choose one of several titles.
Yeah, I chose to write about the role of religion and faith in politics, especially with regards to the bishops in the House of Lords and whether they should be there or not.
You see, you're very matter-of-fact about this. Most people listening now, if you were to say, what do you think about the subject of whether or not there's a place for bishops in the House of Lords and in legislation passing, and the role of faith in politics as a whole, and it's just like, people are like, what? And you're 16.
I did.
And you chose that
research.
title.
Yeah, well, yeah. I did a lot of reading and kind of looked into it. I did find it really interesting. It sounds quite dry when you tell people, they're like, oh, why would you bother? But no, it is interesting once you get into it.
And what sort of things were you writing about in the essay then?
About whether you should let like a bishop be a representative in the House of Lords just by the virtue of their religion, or whether they should have kind of made some other contribution in order to be worthy of that kind of role. And
it's an interesting topic, isn't it, actually?
It is.
And it is very pertinent. I mean, that kind of thing is up for discussion with House of Lords reform and things, and all manner of different changes on the table. Is Poppy a bit of a star student anyway?
She's good. She's very good. But, all our students are
I knew you were going to say that.
very hardworking and they enjoy thinking. We encourage the girls to think for themselves.
Yeah. Which is terrific, isn't it? Did you say, you did the essay, sent it off, thought nothing much more of it. So how did you learn that you were, was there a shortlist first, or was it straight away come to Commons?
Well, I got an email from the organisers asking me to go to a reception in London. It was really quite short notice, actually, so I wasn't really sure if I'd be able to go, and it was quite expensive to go on the train. So I actually didn't think I'd go, because they didn't tell me at this point I would, so I thought, oh no, it might just take a while. But school were able to fund it so I could go down, and I didn't know I'd won until they announced it during the presentation, so I had to go up, have a photo taken, which was a bit awkward.
Who was at the reception then, and where was it?
It was in central London, and there were 100 girls there, who some of whom had entered the competition, some of whom were kind of there through different involvements with the company, and then 100 women who were kind of at the top of their careers. So it was almost like a networking event. You could talk to women in whatever career you're interested in.
Networking at 16, it's
that was a bit nerve-wracking.
That's good though, because you'd have made a great impression with some influential people. What sort of people were there?
I spoke to a couple of consultants because I want to be a doctor, so it was get some contacts was really good. And just met people who ran charities and who were lawyers and just all kinds of different careers.
Who went with you?
My grandma.
There's a day out for your grandma as well,
Yeah,
wasn't it?
yeah, she had a good time, I think. She's about as surprised as I was that I won.
Yeah. And then, what was because, am I right in thinking from what I've read that there were 14 of you who got the chance to go and see the Deputy Prime Minister?
Yeah, the group of us went down to, most of the other girls were kind of from in and around London, so.
So this was 14 of you out of the 100 or so at the reception?
Yeah.
How many people enter this essay writing competition?
I don't know.
Noreen?
There would have been a lot more than the 100 finalists, so it would have been obviously selected from a lot of essay writing.
I'm going to play a song and then we're going to talk some more. I want to know exactly what happened. I hope you've recalled word for word the conversation you had with the Deputy Prime Minister. We'll chat some more with Noreen and with Poppy in a minute. I've told you my story about the ice cream machine and interviewing Boyzone before, haven't I? I won't do it now. Got company. Boyzone and No Matter What. It is nearly, not quite, but nearly 11:30. Asking you to tell me your thoughts on whether or not 11-year-olds should be banned from using calculators in maths tests, because the government are announcing a change to those SATs tests, so that's going to happen. I should ask my guests because, okay, you're 16, but year 6 wasn't that many years ago, less than it was for me. Did you do SATs at 11? Do you remember doing a maths paper?
Yeah.
With a calculator?
I can't remember. I definitely did maths SATs, but I have no idea if I had a calculator.
You want to go into medicine. I mean, what A-levels are you doing at the moment?
Biology, chemistry, psychology and RS.
Is your mental arithmetic okay?
It's all right.
So what do you think? You're a teacher, Mrs. Driver. I feel like I can't call you Noreen. You've got a student here. Do you think that this is a good move to hold back on the calculators a little bit later in education?
Yes, I think so. I think children should be encouraged to think for themselves before resorting to calculators.
And yet, real life is that the calculators are always there. I mean, I think about my 9-year-old. She'll do her numeracy homework and then say, can I just check it on a calculator? And I see no harm in that.
Yeah, I think that's a good way of using a calculator to check what you've already gone through in your own mind, really.
Tell us a little bit, for those who don't know, about Derby High School. It's all girls from secondary level on, isn't it?
That's right, yes. We take boys from 3 to 11 as well as girls. And then from 11 to 18, we're girls only. And
you've just gone there to do your A-levels?
Yeah.
So how long have you been at the school?
Only a couple of months.
And already you're getting headlines. Poppy won this competition. If you weren't listening a moment ago, let me fill you in. Poppy is from Long Eaton, Poppy Brown, and wrote an essay for the competition run by the Women of the Future Ambassadors programme and Face to Faith, which is Tony Blair's project. So can I just repeat the title of your essay? Because I still find this astonishing at 16 years old. In the light of the wholly redundant campaign to remove the bishops from the UK Parliament, what contribution do you think faith and belief should make to conversations about public life in the UK? Blimey, O'Reilly. How long was the essay?
1,500 words, so it wasn't too long.
That's actually a bit of a challenge, I imagine, if you went to that much trouble to research the subject, to be quite concise.
Yeah, I actually wrote more and ended up cutting it down, which I didn't expect. But
did you read it?
No, I didn't actually. Poppy just sent it as instructed by me. If you want to have a go, write an essay and send it in, and that's exactly what she did.
I wish she had
nothing
now,
to do with it.
So, we were saying that the prize, there was this big reception with all these influential movers and shakers, successful women in London, and then you found out when you were at that you got to the final stage, you'd won. You were off to the Houses of Parliament to meet the Deputy Prime Minister. What was the format of that visit then?
Well, we arrived at the House of Commons in the evening, and we kind of had to have a photo taken, got a little ID badge, and we went into a big room which had those little microphones, like, you see in programmes where they have, like, foreign diplomats.
Yes.
But luckily they weren't on. But so we were all sat round, and Nick Clegg came in, and he
How many of you were there then in the room?
There were probably about 18, I think, altogether.
All your kind of age, all teenagers?
Yeah, us, and then, it's kind of accompanying teachers.
Okay. Did you have an accompanying teacher?
No, I had my mum, so...
And so, you said he spoke to you. Did he just do his bit and then scuttle off, or were you allowed to cross-examine him?
No, he spoke about, because he'd read my essay and the essay of the person who came as a runner-up, so he spoke about what he thought about those.
What did he say? What did he say about yours?
He said they were very thoughtful and just kind of spoke a bit about what he thought about the issue. And then we kind of asked him some questions.
What did you ask him then? I need to know. What did you ask Nick Clegg?
I asked him about if he was worried about the impact on his voter base from having gone into a coalition with the Conservatives.
I'm quite impressed, actually, that Nick Clegg's happy to meet students. That's all I'll say. And what did he say in response to that very perceptive question?
He spoke about how it had, in a way, been worth it because they had been able to change some of the Conservative policies, but obviously he did acknowledge they have lost quite a lot of voters. Like from polls, have kind of said they've lost a lot of people, so he wasn't 100% sure. He said it was too early to tell what the long-term results would be. So, did
you ask him any more questions?
He was asked kind of questions by everyone. There were questions about university fees, and obviously this was before the results of the American election, so about what he thought about that.
And what did he have to say on university fees?
He was explaining how it's not quite as bad as sometimes the headlines can kind of make it out to be, that it's not just you turn up and you have to pay £9,000, it works more like a graduate tax, and so it's not quite as...
Did he say sorry again?
No. People did threaten to ask him to sing the song, but
I forgot about the song. And how did you find him? Just on a personal level?
On a person, he came across as very genuine. It's a really nice guy, because obviously you see people on television and I don't know, whatever you think about their policies, in person he seemed like a very nice person.
And does politics interest you? I know it's not career-wise, you want to go into medicine, but clearly you're engaged with it all.
No, yeah, I do find it interesting. I'm not like any kind of politics expert, but I do enjoy kind of seeing it.
Must have been a bit of a treat just going to the Houses of Parliament.
Yeah, it was lovely. Yeah, at nights it's all lit up and it was very pretty and just kind of amazing to see like where all these big decisions and stuff are made.
So the RE department at school now, is Poppy Forever going to be held up as an example of what you can achieve if you engage with the subject?
Yeah, I think probably. But it's a popular subject. The girls enjoy their RE, and I think the face-to-face programme has added that little bit of extra to the curriculum, because it means that the girls can engage outside the classroom as well via the video conferences.
I mean, it's interesting, you wrote about the subject of, the relevance of religion to public life. And the relevance of religion generally in many people's book is an issue. I mean, and studying RE, what's the value of taking an RE qualification at the moment?
Well, obviously, I'm a little bit biased because I'm an RE teacher.
I'm asking you.
But I think there's a lot of value because it's about life. We study world faiths throughout school. At A-level, we look at ethics and philosophy of religion, so looking at ideas and things that happen in life. It's very relevant.
There's one more part to your prize still to fulfil, isn't there?
Yeah, I'm hopefully going to do some work experience with one of the women who's involved with the campaign. So.
And is this a consultant?
Hopefully. I don't know exactly who yet, but obviously because I want to be a doctor, I'm hoping someone medical. So.
Crikey. This one's one to watch, isn't she?
Definitely.
Thank you so much. It's lovely to speak to you both and have a conversation with you. From Long Eaton and student at Derby High School, Poppy Brown, who won that competition, and head of RE at Derby High School is Noreen Driver. Thank you both.
Thank you.
On the